Greetings. I'd like to welcome you here today for another daily devotion. We're going through the book of Matthew, and today's verses are taken from Matthew 9, verses 27 through 31. Jesus has been demonstrating his divine authority. He has authority to teach, authority over creation, authority not only to call people unto himself, but also to give his authority away in order that they might display the same miraculous works of their Savior, Lord, and Master. Now, in today's passage, we'll see another demonstration of Jesus' divine authority to heal. Let's go ahead and read some of those verses together. So as Jesus went on from there, 2 men who were blind followed him, crying out, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." Now, using the term Son of David to identify Jesus carries along with it both messianic and divine implications, but it also emphasizes Jesus' humanity. Jesus is Son of God and Son of Man. Therefore, he's both truly God and truly man. And as such, he not only sympathizes with our weaknesses, but has the divine power to address them according to his perfect will, plan, and purpose. Now, after he entered the house, the men who were blind came up to him, and Jesus said, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" Now, Jesus asked a rhetorical question here, as he already demonstrated that he knows what's in the heart of men. But he asked this question to draw out an expression of faith, for confession and belief go hand in hand with one another. So they said to him, "Yes, Lord." Now these 2 words go perfectly together, yes and Lord. I'm reminded of Charles Spurgeon comments regarding Peter saying, "No, Lord," and Spurgeon said, "No, Lord." What an odd jumble of words, for surely when we say no, it ought not be said to the Lord, and when you say Lord, it ought not be put alongside the word no. So just take a minute and reflect upon your own declarations. What are the areas in your life using what Spurgeon called an odd jumble of words? For the only appropriate response to the Lord's commands are yes. Then Jesus touched their eyes, saying, "It shall be done for you according to your faith." Now, many will claim, if you just have enough faith, you'll be healed of all your infirmities. To which I would reply, well, how about the Apostle Paul? Did he not have enough faith for the Lord to remove the thorn in his flesh? Of course not. But instead, he learned that God's grace was sufficient for him and that God's power might be perfected in weakness. Now, that being said, God does not always heal our infirmities on this side of heaven, but he will always help us bear them in a way that brings him glory. The reason God chooses to heal some and others are not both the same, but so that his works might be displayed. So you see, many don't realize that if you claim you just have enough faith in God, what they're actually doing is blaming God because he's the one who allots to each a measure of faith. So faith isn't something we muster up, it's something that God grants and continues to grow in us. Notice that Jesus asked them, "Do you believe that I can do this?" Not, "Do you believe that I will?" So in this particular case, Jesus grants their request, their eyes are opened, and now Jesus sternly warned them, saying, "See that no one knows about this," but they go out and spread the news about him throughout the land. Now what this says to me is that faith, no matter how strong it will be at times, does not always result in perfect obedience to Christ's command, for we all fall short at times. But notice that Christ did not remove his blessing from them in a result of their disobedience. He knew they would disobey before he healed them, and yet he chose to extend his grace anyway. And the same goes for us, that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Now, I think it's a good time to consider our own obedience to Christ. Where are we saying no to the Lord? Where are we saying yes and not actually following through? The miracle and blessing of salvation ought to be the motivating factor to walk in obedience to Christ's commands, but delayed obedience is nothing more than disobedience. So consider that God has prepared works for you beforehand and that you should walk in them each and every day. May he bless you to that end until he calls us home. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you next time. God bless you guys.